thank everyone for coming out this morning. We're very optimistic about this meeting, and we hope you will be too as you receive more information. So just to start it off, let's just go around and give our names and say why we're here today. My name is Christine Calabresi. I'm the Bus Rapid Transit Program Manager for the City of Brooklyn.
Hi, I'm Javier Silva with East Bay Asian Youth Center. This time I come here on request from Ms. Strong and also replacing Andy Nelson who's on vacation. Hi.
Oh, hello, my name is Trần Lê. I own a business on Big 12 and 12, and I'm here on behalf of Miss Lynn, son of Market. Yeah.
My name is Merlin Edwards, and I'm also here for Lynn. But in addition to Lynn, I'm also here for Urban Core, who's got a project on East 12th and 2nd Avenue.
Good morning, my name is Thompson Williams. I'm the Vietnamese interpreter, and I have been asked to come here to interpret for Mrs. Lin Chuan today.
Good morning, and Teacher Singh and City Council, Lisa and Christine and Ada and Donna. And say thank you very much for meeting with me for my business in past the agency. Thank you very much.
My name is Maya. We have a small business on East 15, and I'm here on behalf of Lynn as the business
My name is David King. I am here on behalf of Lynn as well. I also live on East 12th and 14th Avenue, so this is very important to me.
My name is Amy Chan. I'm the council member of Capitol's office, and following the situation in the next meeting.
Good morning, I'm David Wilkins. I'm the BRT Program Director for AC Transit.
Good morning, I'm Rama Pochirelli, Senior PM for AC Transit.
I'm Brock Reese with Fair and Pierce, and we're assisting the City of Oakland in reviewing the BRT project.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Gallo. I'm with the City of Oakland in the Office of Economic Development.
So, very soon I'll turn it over to David Wilkins, the BRT Project Director for AC Transit, to discuss the specific solutions for Sunhawk Fab and for that area of East 12th. But I just wanted to say for the group that we recognize that there have been some growing pains around implementing the Bus Rapid Transit program in Oakland and San Leandro, and that there's been some anxiety caused by the wait, and the design team went through the rigorous exercise of really figuring out what the geometry of the project would be and how it would resolve multiple design considerations. We really, really appreciate that. For the City of Oakland, we feel that this project, if implemented correctly, is going to be a real boon for Oakland, not just the improvement of the transit system, but the many betterments that AC Transit has nicely cooperated with Oakland to bring to us. And I won't list them all, but they do total $30 million of betterments for businesses and residents on the corridor. And so we want to do everything possible to implement this program to serve transit riders, pedestrians, residents, and especially merchants. And so we're very optimistic, once again, both about the specific situation we're here to discuss today, but also because at this point it's 65% design, we're starting to conquer some of the tougher problems, and we can be optimistic about the future. So without further ado, I just want to turn it over to David to discuss a letter that we sent to Ms. Chong yesterday, and talk about the solution for some of that.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you all for coming, Ms. Chong especially, for being here. And we wanted to take the opportunity this morning to explain in a little more detail the letter that we sent to you a couple of days ago. So, do you acknowledge you're in receipt of the letter that we sent you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay, fantastic. We have some extra copies here for those of you who may not have had a chance to see it, and we're making some more if there are not enough to go around. And in addition, we are going to be sending around a sign-in sheet just to acknowledge everyone who was here this morning participating in the discussion. I think the letter is self-explanatory, but let me just highlight a couple things. First of all, I wanted to thank you for your participation in the East Lake San Antonio community outreach meeting that we had back in late May, I believe it was, and also for your willingness to sign up for one-to-one meetings. And as you know, as an outcome of the one-to-one meetings, you expressed concerns about the Fifth Avenue BRT station being adjacent to your property, the Sun Hop Fat Grocery Market. Subsequently, you sent an email to my senior project manager, Rama, in which you further expressed your concern about the location of the station, and you proposed some alternatives for relocating the station. We took your concerns very seriously, and we did so in good faith as part of our overall community outreach effort. So that is why we have this effort in the first place, is to engage with the community, identify any concerns and issues that there might be, and if it's feasible to modify the design to address those concerns and mitigate those issues, then in fact we would make every effort to do that. And so we evaluated the alternatives that you had proposed in your email, and we also evaluated other alternatives that our design team identified. And as a result of that, we began the engineering analysis to determine the feasibility and viability of those alternate locations. I think it's important for you and everyone else to understand that the moving a station at this point in the project is no small matter. It's a significant change in the design program. And it requires an extensive evaluation of several very important parameters, not the least of which is the regulatory impact of moving the station when we already have an environmental impact study and approval from the FTA to place the stations in their proposed locations as they exist today. In addition, there are the technical and design considerations. We have advanced our design for utility relocations to nearly the 100% level, and relocating a station from its proposed position now would mean that we would have to re-examine all of the underground utilities at these new locations to determine what the potential impacts would be from a design perspective. In addition, we have to consider what would be the relative impacts to merchants and property owners at these alternate locations. And so those are kind of the major issues, and along with many other lesser important issues, were all factored into our evaluation and consideration of your proposal, and in trying to determine what would be the best options to address your concerns. So the end result of our staff analysis is that we found an alternate location that we have determined up to this point is viable. And that new location is down the block from an in the southbound direction, so south and east of your location at the corner of 12th Street, East 12th Street and 6th Avenue. And I think that in large part, the reason that this particular location became the most viable and kind of rose to the top out of all the alternatives that we looked at, and there were about a half a dozen. Yes.
She needs a new map.
Okay. Okay. And we can refer to the diagram in a moment. I would just like to finish the explanation first, but to just explain to you the details. But the location that we found or determined would be the most viable is the alternative 4B or 4 Bravo that's at the corner of East 12th and 6th Avenue. Now, the primary reason that this particular location, and in fact, I think the primary impetus for us really taking as an intensive look at your request and these alternate locations is in no large part because this is a very unique situation, and your situation does not exist anywhere on the corridor. And that situation is that you're a single property owner on a corner space, a corner property, in which you have a local bus route on the side street and a BRT station on the main corridor. And also that the alternate locations, at least some of them, that we considered are adjacent to properties in which you own. And you had given some assurance in your email to the district that that those locations, alternate locations that would be adjacent to properties you own, would be satisfactory with you if it was determined that those were actually viable locations upon completion of the engineering analysis. And it was the combination of these things that really drove the district to consider these alternatives and to expend the effort and resources to examine them closely. And so in this case, we have determined that as a result of your declaration on this alternate location, that it's a viable position to relocate the BRT station. So that would be the new location for the Fifth Avenue BRT station. One of the things that we asked you for in the letter is to confirm that, one, that you own the properties adjacent to where the BRT station is going to be, as you indicated in your earlier email, and that you secure endorsement from the business owners, the other business owners at that location, that they have no issues with the BRT station being relocated down the block. And so, so with that, I'm willing to, and we're able to explain any specific details about the alternate location, should you have them. Rama can lead that discussion, and with Rob here from the City of Oakland, address any questions you might have about how the BRT new location would maybe affect parking or something at that corner, and just kind of some of the technical questions if you have any about that. But we are confident that this should be a satisfactory and mutually agreeable solution to your request to relocate the station.
Can I talk to a little bit?
Yes.
I reviewed the first time I meeting here, like July 1st, with Lisa and Roma, right? And we talked about the relocation, right? And because I'm worried about if my business I can open, right? How can I pay the public tax, right? You better, because just five minutes, right? I just said, if you able to change the bus station, go to corner secretary, because that's what I'm on the building, right? Because I take care of this building and take care of that building, right? And then when I came home, right, I wrote a letter to the city council and pretty much I said they have three options. The first, number one option, change the bus station to the west, because the west is the gas, the gas stop something, right? No bother at all. No. And then I heard from Raymond said to me with the meeting at the Clinton Park, and he said the left turn when the people get AAD left turn to bus stop, and the bus station very close to Second Avenue. That's why I'm worried, we can do a city can help me to change the location. That's why I say better you go to Brooklyn. And then I come home, right? I'm meeting with my friend and a lot of people around there. He said the best way you make the west side, not go the south. The south so difficult, the people walk, and the cross Sixth Avenue, the people walk to the Lincoln Park, right? At daytime and nighttime, they go to the park, right? And they put the little kid, they with the car seat, and that's, I think this is not bad. Yeah, because I will email three options, right? Option number one is the west and the south.
So
So did you explore this?
we explored all the options.
Yes.
And of the options and reviewing all the technical considerations and feasibilities, the one option rises as an option that can be implemented.
Right.
And so we're wondering if there's, and this was one of the options that Ms. Strong provided. So I think we're at the stage now where we're saying of the options that were presented to us, this is the one that is the most technically feasible.
Well, so could you explain why moving to this south side or north side? Switch it to be one of north.
And then also, there's going to be a street light beginning here.
Correct.
Yes, okay. So they're going to put in a stop light at 6th Avenue and 12th,
Correct.
where it doesn't currently exist.
Correct.
The other question that I have is why was it not feasible to put it on the southeast side of East 12th where the auto repair shop is? Because it does not affect the ingress or egress of that state, of that business. And when you're looking at, I'm assuming you're looking at infrastructure and all of that.
Right.
So when you look at the infrastructure, what is the difference in the infrastructure there and the infrastructure in
No,
the
it's just
park?
the way up there.
Yeah.
Because there it doesn't impact anything.
I didn't know it was
We're going to get a large layout plan so we can,
Right.
Yeah.
we can all point to what we're talking about.
I have to turn it the way it actually faces. I don't think this is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the second?
Yeah, that's the auto.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so there's a fence right there.
And it's actually less costly.
I'm sorry, I got two big boards here. They
He's okay.
these are the same boards we've seen before. We can explain here. Oh, yeah.
This is second.
And other areas around it.
So this is what is the current, this is the Fifth Avenue East 12, and this is the 6th, this is where it is currently proposed, and this is the market right here. And the parking lot, right next to the market, and the parking lot was in this is your building. So the options we looked at is one right here, and the driveway needs to be closed. So that's one option on the, besides parking impacts, the driveway needs to be closed.
So you're
that.
nothing here.
No, it is going to be long enough if you can
see these 60 platforms, 60
Where was
buses.
the shop open? It's coming on this side?
Yeah, they have come on this side. So one option, so that's the main impact is guided utility goes for this year.
But
And moving,
is that an empty lot or is
No,
it's not, it's
It's a
a
car.
car.
Auto.
So another option we have looked at that, we proposed this option, so we looked at it, the driveway needs to be closed. Another option we proposed is between these two driveways for these two parking lots, which is not long enough for a platform, so either of them will be closed. Another option we looked at it is, we proposed right here in front of this building that which you own, and we looked at it and we looked at a couple of different options, how to lay it out, and one of the options worked out so we can keep this driveway open, which is very close, and have a station right here. We also looked at here, and we have businesses around here, so many businesses here, on the parking lot. So all different options. Besides the options we proposed, we also looked at it. Also we looked at the transit, the bus, existing local bus going down here, how far we are going with the connections, how far people have to cars and walk. So we have looked at different options from the operations standpoint, from the technical standpoints, how much impact the businesses will be getting respect to closing the ways. So this turned out to be best option only because you own it and you proposed it, this building. You proposed right here.
So what if we get an agreement from this guy and say it's okay to close this one?
But this one is the business center, right?
No, here's the part, if this structure is right here, and you can get in and out of this auto repair shop.
They don't use this gate
No,
sometimes.
they can close this gate, but get in over here. If he approves that, what would your position be? If the owner says yes.
We have to look into that again one more time.
Yeah, it's more than just the business owner. I mean, we have to look
You
into.
know, but you gotta have, you really want his approval first. If he gets his approval.
Yeah, I
Then you see
understand.
whether or not it's
Yeah.
feasible.
Yeah, but it's, there's a large number of criteria in which a staff analysis was done for that. Obviously, the impact to the business owner or property owner at that location is one of
We'll
them.
solve that.
You know, but you have the technical issues, you have the operational issues, so there's.
But David, what I'm saying is, you just said that you've looked at all of these, apparently you've done all the homework for all of these, so you know what's there, you know what you have to do there. So, all you're doing is.
No, but what I can tell you right now is whether that was ruled out simply because the property, we didn't have concurrence from the property.
Right.
So,
And I'm saying, so if you've got the concurrence from the property owner, he says, yes, I don't mind doing that, because you still got interest in my business. And you've done all your other homework. And I'm saying, if we can get his approval, how would that impact the project?
I mean, it goes back to looking at the staff analysis, looking at all the criteria, how those criteria were scored, because even if you have the concurrence from the property owner, it doesn't mean that that particular option would score high enough to be the preferred alternative.
Okay, so you're gonna look into it.
But we can look at it.
Yeah.
We'll look at it again.
Look on it.
I mean, so because the main thing that we were trying to do in this effort was determine whether or not we could move the station from in front of Sun Hop Fat, and we have done that.
Yes.
So this has now become, based on Ms. Trong, your remarks here, kind of a secondary request here to move it again from what has been done through a staff analysis become the preferred alternative. So we just have to go back and take a look at it and see what.
The ease was one of the.
And we'll check with him, because if he says no, then obviously you want to do it.
Right.
But if he says yes, then there's something that you've got to work.
Okay, can I ask a question in the inverse? So I think we're just a little taken aback to see the options weren't provided to us in terms of preference. They were provided to us in terms of 3 possible options. So
Right.
we thought, at least from the property owner's perspective, they were valuable. So we focused on finding the best possible solution for the project in its entirety and presenting it here today. So I think it begs the question of if the Sixth Avenue location that the project team has selected is not preferable, then why? Why is it not preferable?
Well, because
Why does
there's-
this group not?
Because
not-
there's more of an impact on this business than it does on this business. You said earlier you want to have the least amount of impact on the businesses that's there. If this guy says he approves it, then it doesn't have an impact on his business, but it still has an impact.
Right, but the whole reason that we looked at these particular businesses, as I said at the outset, and this is what makes this situation unique, she claimed in her email that I own the businesses where these alternate locations are, and I would prefer that the station, if it's feasible, be relocated to one of these locations rather than in front of my grocery store.
Right.
So,
Well, to state it in a different way, we would be hard pressed on the entire 8.5-mile stretch of Oakland to find a business jumping up and down to have a BRT station located in front of their business.
In the existing structure.
No, a new BRT platform. No, it's not necessarily, while the project is a welcome addition, the platform itself is the thing that people have a problem with. So we went through a long environmental process where the best locations were selected through, with one was supposed was an objective process, and we got authorization and approvals from the city council on more than one occasion. Now we're providing an exception to the approved plan because we recognize that to have both a local bus stop and BRT station at the Sunhook location is an undue burden to this town. We recognize that and we want to move the station. But we cannot subscribe to NIMBYism in terms of, simply starting to shuffle the station around now based on preference. If the Sixth Street location that the project team has been able to shoehorn in is appropriate, then we would encourage you to really, not just work to find alternative locations, but work to accept that in the scheme of things.
So I would frame it in a different way because I think a different way to say it is we have underutilized sites that have the opportunity, instead of impacting existing structures, because the platform is challenging, we have an underutilized site that if they choose to develop, can actually take advantage and build around that.
In the auto dealership.
Yeah.
So of course they're not here to represent themselves because they might.
So, and she has said to us, and I assume she has said to you also, but maybe not, but I've been in multiple meetings where I've been told that you need to make sure you're talking straight, that property owner is okay with it. So, kind of, I think that context of making sure that's correct, but also creating a situation where we can develop around it and develop something that actually takes advantage of it instead of everybody having to react is a different way of
So
thinking about it.
economic development is a big driver, but also there are issues. There are local to BRT transfers that we have to pay attention to the pedestrians, and what they're doing is they transfer from local service to BRT and vice versa. Also, the spacing of stations. We don't want our older adults having to walk 8 blocks.
That's the station right here and right here.
Right, so
they're kind of close.
It's close.
So the spacing of stations is another issue, and then there are the underground utilities, the traffic signals, the traffic flow. So there are a lot of considerations beyond if the business owner welcomes or doesn't welcome it in front. Although that is paramount concern, and we're addressing that concern in this problem. We need your flexibility as we find the appropriate location. There are a lot of considerations.
The primary transfer is off of this one or off of like where most of the riders transfer?
From Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
So it's shorter distance from here to here
Yeah.
than from here to there.
Correct.
But I saw in the E14 National, the same, the bus station, the same time in Hall. The opposite Broad Street, the same bus station, the gas station. In Airport, International. The same way you get the second hand here. But this side, the same. I saw International here.
Yeah, these are one, if I understand you right, yeah, this is a one-way here, so we will have a paired station, other way around, and international.
But I mean, the bus station both the same here, the same big hall, with the international, the same second and third. But
That means
same
there
this side.
is
Right.
2 blocks away from each other.
I want to give credence to what Christina said about the request was not prioritized. And our conversations have been that these are all similar options. And so what I'd like to hear from you is why this is now less acceptable than this. Why is this a problem? I want to hear from them, because I'm not understanding
Yes. The
due to
first,
our
This is
conversation.
our
I
next
think-
conversation.
Okay, well,
the first, when I come home, right, I'm thinking about the first option in the left-hand side, right, is the balance of one. They don't have space in the corner, right? And they made my, like, tenant, they don't like it because the bus makes noise, right? And I can open the business that one too, right? Because right now I have one open, maybe later on I have one more, right?
one more
And one
business.
more business they come up that corner, my building, the corner of 6th Avenue. And I'm thinking a lot, when there was agencies about 2 more years, they make it, maybe I lost the business, maybe I will sell the property to the developer. I'm not thinking I'm here, because sometimes, the bus, when the road now only one line, right, because the last customer they come to open, they may solve the developer, right? I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure, right? And then I request, or I can make more, income, if they better and make more income, I will open the business at the corner, 6th Avenue, because right now I'm slow.
Right.
When we think about it, I think
Can I ask what the structure is zoned for right now, what the intended use of the property at 6 is now?
Which is,
What is the current use of the structure?
The mid-block, not the corner.
Residential.
yeah, it's
It's,
commercial residential.
Commercial, residential on top, there's existing residences. But Ms. Tron, do you remember when we sat here and we talked, and those are the meeting notes that we sent to you? We talked about how there was recognition that the BRT stop in front of the store might create issues for you. And we created a longer loading zone, and we try to talk about how we can improve your business place with signage and all other kinds of things, trimming the trees and everything. And then you brought up, and we took a lot of value for what you said, is to move the station up to 6th, because that would essentially could do 3 things. One, it could, move the stop from in front of your store. 2, it might help your other property actually be a location for investment, because you might be able to bring new tenants in there. You didn't have, you only had one tenant now. And then thirdly, it could actually help the other block too, the other 6th to 7th Street block, because there's a lot of businesses there and they don't have parking requirements like your store does. So these were things you said to us about why this would be beneficial to move it, and you would welcome it at 6th and East 12th.
When I talk to you, I said next to when I asked him to move to the west side, and he said because the west side very close to 2nd Avenue, but the west side students are not safety from the driver. That's why I know what to go. That's why I tried this side to voice to my store in front, But in my opinion, only the west side, not in the south side. But I met Rima so many times, right, in the Lincoln Park, right? He said to me the same with Michael something, right? Yeah. He said the west not safe, right? That's why I think if you might help me to move in the 6th, right? I'm nowhere to go. But I think that no problem to the west side, because the empty block and the beauty salon, right? They need the bus, because a lot of people come to the beauty salon study, right? They don't
It's a
come to
cosmetology school.
Yeah. That's why they need it. Nobody wants to go to the bus station because they don't have parking. The student, right, don't have parking.
So AC Transit is saying that yes, they will look at the proposed location
If we can get the approval.
contingent upon you getting an approval.
Thank you.
And
But
the
in the,
feasibility.
in the meanwhile, I just want to consider whether or not the BRT station is a betterment or a possible impediment to development. And I just want to remind you, around the BRT stations, you get pedestrian lighting, you get security cameras, you get sidewalk repairs, you get a traffic signal, you get an enhanced crossing. So for
And
residents.
you get a sewer lateral upgrade, and if you
And
have
yes.
property that has the option of expanding, then you're gonna get an upgraded sewer lateral, which is almost a $15,000 to $20,000 improvement on your part, at no cost to you.
And it's not just a one-for-one replacement, it's an upgrade, so that it fosters future development. These are
Right.
required East Bay mud upgrades, so there's a lot to consider before rejecting a station location. We understand why it was rejected at Sunhawk Fat. It was an impediment to business there, but we don't quite think that all the positives have been considered before saying it's not preferred at Sixth Avenue, so we just want to put that out as well.
Okay, so do you have, could we get from you all these positives so we can look at that and see what those positives are?
And only because I understand it more in the deeper down. Can we talk about what the turn impacts are on either side of the? So Fifth still needs a left-hand turn, right? The lighting will be just a left-hand turn for Fifth in all directions. In all directions. But on Sixth, how would that change?
Yeah, right
So
now
no
it's
left, no.
no left turns. It sticks there. If the station is moved here, there will be traffic light. And so there will be safer crossings for pedestrians and vehicles here. There will still be right turns. And there won't be any left turns. Yeah, it's just a street. So traffic is still going one lane this way and two lanes this way. But there just won't be any left turns right here. There will be left turns here. And then they will have left turns here.
Are you adding this stoplight in order to have this here?
That's right.
So it wouldn't be here otherwise?
And there's none right there today. It's a necessity to enhance pedestrian safety. It's for the bus, so people can cross the street to get to the bus without having to do it without a traffic light.
No, and that's a.
Clinton Park is right there.
So that's just nice for the neighborhood.
There should be a sidewalk.
Yes, and it will help the development of this.
There's something on that lot already, right?
Yeah, there's a building that she
Yes, there's a building.
So it only has to go in.
There's a building, parking.
I'm just saying.
20 years from now. I mean, this will be developed.
I'm just saying, it doesn't, it only works, it's a debt that only. So that's just the equation.
But the benefit of there's the traffic along East Drive.
Is there a light at Fifth already?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an existing light right here.
Because these are all retail and restaurants and the parking area.
They have sidewalk cafe right here or something like that.
You know,
They have sitting on the sidewalk, so we looked at it and it's going to have more impact to the businesses
And
And the
also.
light will have a very positive.
positive.
Seniors.
And you know, there is benefit in terms of for future development, in terms of the 545 property that's on the corner. I mean, because part of what the city is going to be doing in this effort is working with the businesses and looking at facade and tenant improvement to make their building locations more attractive, especially starting first with station area businesses. So it's a way to think about the property in its future to make it more viable for leasing opportunities as well. She only has one tenant, no tenant on that corner right now, of 6th and 12th. I think she uses it for storage right now for the store. But that's a very attractive building with the cafe across the street, the style and the improvements.
I had asked Jeff, because we've gotten from Transform, and I guess maybe you guys are better to ask, to give some actual examples of stops in front of businesses, existing businesses. So not after they built development around the stop, but like these, I don't care where in the country. So, but just like so that we can show people actual businesses. No, actual businesses that are actually doing better after the stop, not built in front of their
We
street.
Jeff did start that research.
Because I asked him to, like, I said, that's nice that you say it, but I have an inkling, you're doing it with businesses that build their storefronts and build themselves for their home and stuff.
There's some.
So they can take advantage of it.
Okay, so we can show you some
Yeah, so I think
examples.
that would be a great way for us to show people.
Because I saw Broadway, a lot of bus station, and the business owner, they don't.
Well, don't forget, all of that's even going to change now with this particular project. So, you know, we're being really sensitive to the business needs here. And I think, you know, the benefit to the businesses and to the community that we're never going to get without this project. We have to think about your streets going to be repaved. Again, the lighting, the landscaping improvements that are going to happen. The stations are going to be sized in a way that doesn't block your business in the area. So there's a lot of safety improvements.
So what she's saying is that, I'm sure AC Transit was being sensitive when they did their downtown stations too, stops too. But she's saying, what she's saying, when she looks at what has occurred, it has not benefited businesses, so we just need to show how.
What is it, your?
Bus stops in downtown Oakland,
Yeah.
the businesses behind them, she's saying are having trouble.
But is that a result of the bus stop being there, or the business operation not being?
Well, as a business operator, that's what she's saying, is that's what she's going to stop. So I'm saying, let's show how businesses can take advantage. So give us examples of where it has worked.
I wonder how you come to that conclusion.
Give us examples of where it's worked. So maybe those businesses aren't trying to work. That isn't the point. The point is show us positive examples, because she's pointing out negative ones. So if it's so successful.
If I had a small business and you wanted to put something in front of my store, the first thing I'm going to ask you, where is the benefit for me? That's my question.
That's a show.
So, right, you show me the benefits that I'm going to have as a result of you doing this. And that's why I said to Lisa, if you guys can give us give us all of the benefits of putting that station wherever you're going to put it. What are the benefits of the property owners that's there?
And show examples of where
The street lighting, the redoing the pavement, all of that.
You know, Marlon, that's really important, because I think, you know, we have been really focused on trying to correct design issues and trying to listen to impacts. We're not yet, we need to push up the benefits and the positive aspects of the project to our property owners. So we do all that type of information.
Can you speak more specifically as to the benefit of the facade?
Yeah, so we are working with our partners, AC Transit now, to actually, as required by the City Council, to develop a strong business, we're calling it business sustainability program, we're calling it that. And the project right now actually has with it a community outreach working group, which EBASI sits on, EBOLSI, Unity Council, OCUR, Allen Temple, as key representatives along the corridor. Also the downtown, uptown improvement districts are also part of this community working group.
These are all non-profit, you know, any business people there? All of them that you named are non-profit?
Well, the City Council asked us specifically to work with them, and in addition to this working group, we also, of course, I'm interacting with a lot of businesses, but what our intention is to do is to offer businesses along the corridor the opportunity to participate in customized one-to-one technical assistance services that can help them with certainly understanding what the project is, preparing for the construction, being able to withstand the construction timeframes. And that's going to be coupled with the construction project being staged in a way that is sensitive to business needs And then also, lastly, being able to benefit from the BRT system. So with additional technical assistance in terms of, classes, customized work, we are also enhancing and making more available to our businesses facade and tenant improvement program services, which we currently have some availability in the city. We also are looking at the possibility of how we can structure a business interruption fund program, a very limited pool of funds that we have right now that the city will work with. And then lastly, we're working with another component of a city-led effort, the International Business TOD plan, to build what we're calling an economic development fund. Again, to help encourage infill development, to help encourage additional investment and help our current property owners and investors to really see the benefit of their of this major revitalization effort. So those are all the ways as part of the preparation phase that we want to get started soon. We'll be assessing businesses to look at what are the best ways to help them. Right now, we've talked to Ms. Trong about her signage on her building as people are approaching isn't very prominent. Maybe there's a way to enhance that as you're going towards downtown. Definitely, we see that there are some city services that are required in that area, like tree trimming in and around that area. We also have to ask our businesses to be good partners too. Thinking about sidewalk vending, making sure we can have enough room. The sidewalks are going to change slightly because the bus stop is going to be on East 12, there will be some changes. I can't speak as well to the technical aspects of the design. I'll leave that to certainly to David and to Rama. But the impact of what the city is doing is also looking at parking, making sure we can preserve parking as well as enhancing loading zones. So in Ms. Trong's case, we talked about making a longer loading zone because her trucks are a little bit bigger, because we want to make sure that they're not blocking traffic as they do now, not only for her business, but others as well.
So this mitigation will be done on a case-by-case basis?
For the loading aspect?
For the
Businesses.
For the businesses.
Well, all businesses that are along the corridor are available to receive the services that exist on the corridor, and we want them to be an existing business on the corridor. And that is our first priority. And we're going to look at those. Not every business is going to be eligible for it, but it's going to be a service available. It's going to be part of our toolbox, as it were.
So I asked the question, when the BRT bus station, they have like a developer, like entrepreneur or housing, I think they don't have the business. I think they go when the bus station upon the building, the BRT, they only have, I think they have the people, living like the affordable house or housing, and I think not have a business.
It's not only going to be affordable housing interests that there is right now. In fact, FYI, we have a development interest on 2nd and up on 2nd Street. Not only yours, but there's another one as well. I should maybe catch up with you later on. It's another infill development, small infill development opportunity. So it's market rate housing. It's affordable housing interest that we've been hearing about, and maybe Javier can share that too, because the community is also the city has development activity potentially for some of its own sites that we own that we're going to put out for RFP to look at interest. We also have private parties that are also interested in development, and then again, through the International Boulevard Transit-Oriented Plan, we are trying to work and encourage private owners as well to consider redevelopment of their sites as well as new investment.
But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think what she's saying, it does help the residential people, but it doesn't help business. Is that what you're saying? It does not help business.
Well, that's her.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what she said.
But of course, the property is mixed use, and there will be tenants.
Both residential and
Correct.
commercial.
And the walk score is the big bonus for renting and buying in Oakland now. The higher the walk score, the more the property value. So, but rather than debate this, I would like to just summarize because we're past the 11 o'clock hour. So to summarize, we all have homework to do. We've asked as a project team to both look at BRT as a proven catalyst for existing businesses, and to list out the betterments that come along with the installation of a side station at a property, and we'll do that. We'll also look at the technical feasibility of the proposed alternate location at Fifth. For Ms. Strong's team, you promised to talk with the property owner at the alternative location, and then also once we provide you with the validation of the station betterments, to carefully consider whether or not the current proposed relocation at Sixth might actually be something beneficial for Ms. Strong. And I suggest that the project team can probably get the information turned around in a few days. I would ask Mr. Lopez in terms of your design schedule, if this is something that can sit for 2 weeks, or if you would like to convene again with Ms. Strong's team in a week, what makes most sense to you. I was going to suggest 10 days, but I don't want to hold you up in terms of design.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do this fairly quickly. And I would like to, we need to move this forward. We need to settle on this location so that we can continue our efforts to finalize the design. And right now, this, this remains in flux. And so
my direct question to you
maybe by late next week, we could possibly reconvene.
So can we convene at the same time a week from today?
And then at that time, what would you want from us? You want a letter?
But the approval of the site needs to happen in the next 24 hours, or they won't do any work on it.
So
Do you get an approval for this?
So to Romney.
That's my question. When do you need approval for that?
Well, it would be good to bring
Verify.
that. It would be good to bring that with you to the meeting.
Okay.
Oh, I was looking at it before, they won't do any work until they.
They can do an evaluation.
But do we need a letter or
In
contact?
eventual terms.
Yes,
Eventual.
eventually, yes. I mean, just like we asked within this letter for Ms. Strong to confirm that the businesses and at the proposed alternate location would endorse the station being there.
So, once again, Roma, I look for issues taken down. You put the letter to be sent out by tomorrow. If we have all the information that's not on the table now, by a week from Thursday, it appears that we can make a decision. Does everyone agree on that? Okay. So, absent Lusky here, this is going to be done, schedule a meeting.
By the way, plus.
So they're
So, Ms. Trump, you comfortable with coming back and
Yeah,
leave?
thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
David, I don't think there's a problem, but maybe we can meet separately at the stops on Second Avenue and East 12th. Because there's a 24-story structure that's going up there. So we can meet on that.
What's the timeline on it?
Probably around 2015 before we go through all the stuff that we got to do in the city in terms of the sale and administration.
And can I also ask that there's a sign-in sheet around the footboard going around, that everybody sign that so that when we distribute the meeting invite and the other additional information, that we have everybody's correct contact information. So if you haven't signed it, I see down there with Ms. Trump. If you haven't signed it, please do.
Andy's on vacation.
Where did he go?
Take a picture and text it to me.
Yeah, don't take personal possession of your call.
expected to see.
Yeah, let me take a picture so we can text it to him, because we're all working even though he's not. Wait, I think I'm in it, so we're sitting there working.
Well, perhaps some of us should photobomb it.
There we go. Okay, just to let him know we did it.
So thank you very much. Thank you, Nancy, Mama, and David, and Lisa, and Christine. And say thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. And I approve last one. I can you set up the date to meeting for next week?
Yeah,
We'll send it up to you.
Yeah, send it in. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'll forget it.
Before you leave, thank you for You're welcome. Yeah, we have rather.
Your name, sir?
Merlin, like a magician.
Yeah.